I definitely just did something with my mic on my way over here, but I guess we'll find out if the audio is recording or not later. I really don't feel like getting back up and checking, so we'll see. Hopefully this goes well. First and foremost, if you clicked on this video, you know I highly, highly appreciate it. You rock, even if you don't plan on watching the entire thing, you're the best. So with that being said, let's get to this review. 9 Days was written and directed by Edson Oda and stars Winston Duke, Zazie Beetz, Benedict Wong, Tony Hale, Bill Skarsgård, David Risdale, and Ariana Ortiz. Now, before I go any further, I must give a huge shout out to my friend and fellow film buff, Brenna, for not only seeing this film with me, but for telling me about it. Because honestly, if it wasn't for her, I probably would have missed the opportunity to see this during its theater release. Brenna, you're the best for this one. Now, as far as breaking down the plot of this film, if you look it up on Google, you're gonna get a pretty cut and dry answer as far as what it's about. An answer that, in my opinion, kind of takes away from the experience of just seeing what it's about for yourself. I'm a big fan of seeing these kind of films with little to no information as far as what they're about. And for most people, that might be too much of a risk, and I totally understand. But if you are that kind of person, or any person that plans on seeing this film, I would suggest staying away from the Google synopsis and maybe just checking out a teaser trailer instead. So with that being said, here is my spoiler-free breakdown of the film. 9 Days is about an individual named Will, played by Winston Duke, who has been given the task of interviewing a group of individuals for a certain opportunity. Now, though these questions and tasks during this interview process don't necessarily have the right or wrong answers or actions, the opportunity does require, for lack of better words, a certain level of understanding in order for one of these individuals to be selected. The interview takes place over the span of 9 days, and once those 9 days are up, Will must decide who will be chosen. Now, I'm sure the general idea of this plot has been explored before somewhere, but not like this. And if it has been, my apologies, but honestly, I thought this film was fantastic. I loved it. From start to finish, this was a very engaging, emotional, and very heartfelt movie. And in today's climate, as far as film, it's great to have a film this creative that deviates from the norm and gives us something to reflect on and feel. And when I say feel, it's because it does just that. We live in this world that is obsessed with action-packed sequences and overanalyzing. So much that we tend to forget to feel. And I think this film, in a lot of ways, is here for that aspect. Speaking of feelings, I want to briefly touch on this film's score. I have to give credit here to Antonio Pinto, I believe is his last name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, who absolutely nailed it. This is a very emotional and powerful score, and hearing it during certain scenes in the film was quite the experience. I also want to briefly touch on performances here. And I say briefly because it's going to be kind of difficult to stay out of spoiler territory, and spoiling films is lame. I also don't want to make this review 11 minutes long. But seriously, everybody here is great. And I know, you guys are probably like, you like everybody in every film that you watch. Man, this dude likes everything about every film that he's seen. Look, I can't help that these movies are good. In the future, I will purposely go see a film that's bad, but I want to share my goodies with y'all before I do all that, all right? I'm probably creeping up on the 6-minute marker and I'm not even halfway done. Anyway, the performances here are very thoughtful and powerful, and they feel organic. In a lot of these scenes, these characters have to sell this idea that they are somewhat unaware or uneducated about things that your average person deals with on a daily basis. But I want to share my thoughts on one character in particular named Kaio, played by Benedict Wong, who acts as Will's assistant throughout the interviewing process. I loved him in this film. And his role here is very important, not only as Will's assistant, but also to us as the viewers. Because there are some things that happen throughout the movie that some people may have questions about or wonder exactly what they mean. And Wong's character, through conversations with Will and the individuals being interviewed, kind of acts as our narrator in a sense, but without giving us too much information. On top of that, he was just a joy to watch on screen and brought a lot of charisma and humor to some otherwise bleak moments in the film. And I'm gonna wrap this up, but there's an ending scene in this film that was so good Like, it gave me goosebumps. Like, once it was over, I just kind of sat there waiting for my other senses to kick in and say, okay, well, yeah, we got to get up and leave the theater now. Man, that ending. Whew. So yeah, this one definitely stuck with me. And I highly recommend, if you can possibly still see it in theaters or if it's streaming somewhere, to check this one out. This hands down gets my price of admission approval. And real quick while I have you, I'm kind of exhausted. Between work and just everything, it's been a rough year for me personally. And I tend to overextend myself and go above and beyond despite being extremely stressed. And I'm dealing with a situation where my stress levels are starting to affect not only my brain, but my body. So I've been very tired. I've been very fatigued, just kind of constantly feeling like I'm under the weather, kind of just going to work, working my butt off and coming back home. So in November, I'm taking 2 weeks off and I plan on just kind of being able to breathe and get my bearings, so to speak, and just kind of chill, watch some films that I can review so that I can have some consistent content to give you guys. Because I do want to keep this going. I don't want to be in a situation where I feel so stressed out that I can't continue to do what I love. So I think my plan is, as far as anything in the future until November, as far as content, I'm thinking about maybe going through a list of my favorite films or some films that I hate, favorite directors, favorite actors, and just kind of discuss some things with you guys and kind of leave some things up for debate. Because this whole 4 video thing now is kind of butt. So yeah, as always, thank you very much for clicking on this video and hanging out for a little bit. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and sub.
I give all men the same advice. Get a dog. Dog will love you all the time. She's not going to. It's real talk.